Hello, I'm Kyle,
I'm Griffin.
and this is the Cedar Log. The contents of this podcast are derived from A Whale Boat on the Unami by Michael G. Comfort, and from the August 1918 edition of Scouting Magazine.
In 1918, a pre-OA Camp Honor Society was established at Delmont by Camp Director B.J. Pickering and Isaac Stutton. They were assisted by Chief Red Fox Skewishku of the Northern Blackfeet, who was at Delmont for the summer. Thus, the Tipi Order, also known as the Unami Tribe, was born.
The organization was based on indigenous ceremony and customs. Alene Lenape Longhouse, or Big House, actually named Sergeant's Cabin after Council President Winthrop Sargent. The cabin was built in 1918 to be used as a rainy day activity shelter. It made the perfect place for the Unami Tribe ceremonies. The plans for the building were provided by A.R. Harrington of the Institute of the American Indian in New York. Scouts were eligible to be initiated as warriors if they had earned enough camp honors for completing a specific amount of scoutcraft. The initiation process began with a trip to the Sweat Lodge, and when completed, the candidates would jump into the Unami Creek. They would then get dressed and be led into the woods. In the woods, they would find someone dressed as the missing with a small fire and something boiling. The figure would give the candidates a black drink of unknown herbs to act as a cleaner.
Candidates would then sleep under the stars and be told to eat their breakfast before the sunrise, since the sun must not see them eat on this day of fasting. The candidates were then led to isolated spots where they would spend the day alone in silence as they fasted. Different people then try to tempt the candidates to eat throughout the day.
And now for a message from the committee. Take it away, Luke.
Thank you, Reese. If you or anyone has been part of scouting history and you'd like to have your story told, please feel free to reach out to us at our email, which is history@unamilodge.org, or you can contact us on our social media, which is Facebook and Instagram. Thank you. Back to the history.
Once the sun sets, the candidates are allowed to eat dinner, and then they are taken to the big house. There, each of them are given a bundle of 12 small sticks. The candidates then had to state 12 brave or worthy acts they committed to show why they should be permitted into the Tipi Order. As each reason was given, the candidate handed a stick to the chief, and the crowd yelled, "Ho!"
If all the reasons were accepted, then a turtle cap was put on to the candidate and his face would be painted red and black. The candidate was given a new name by the chief, and the two then danced around the big house. This process was repeated for each candidate. At the very end, the chief gave the 12 blessings speech, and it went something like this.
Great Spirit, teach us to ever respect you and your works.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, teach us to always respect your helpers, the great powers of nature.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, teach us to always uphold our president, our flag, and our country. Gishele Mamokong, let our hearts be ever strong.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, let our tongues always be straight.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, let us never turn our back until our task is done.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, may we always respect the aged and infirm.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, may we never turn a stranger away from our lodges.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, may we always help those in sickness or sorrow.
Who?
Gishele Mamokong, Help us to be ever kind to our little brothers of the fields and the woods, the skies and the waters, never to take their lives without reason or wantonly abuse them.
Whoo!
Gishile Momokon, help us learn the laws of the forest, the prairie, and the trail.
Who?
Gishile Momokon, may the great powers combine to help us be men, to obey our laws, and to give us long life, health, and happiness.
Whoo! Over time, it seems that the Tipi Order became more and more farcical. With this waning of the Tipi Order came the founding of Delmont Lodge of the Order of the Arrow in 1929. Interestingly, in 1949, Delmont Lodge passed a motion to invite members of the Tipi Order to take their ordeal and become full members of the OA.
The Cedar Log is a production of the Unami Lodge 1 History Committee. The script for this series was done by Reese and Michael G. Comfort, audio and editing by Luke, video by Kyle, and hosted by Kyle and Griffin. A special thank you to Michael G. Comfort for letting us use his book, A Whaleboat on the Unami.